Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5
best 60-inch TVs.
Starting at number 5.
Hisense U6K. With all the talk around great budget models, you must be wondering what's the absolute cheapest 65-inch TV we'd recommend. The answer is the Hisense U6K. It's a mini LED TV that you can get for right around $500. It beats any model from Insignia or on, and while there are some TCL TVs that come close, the U6K beats them in most performance metrics. Speaking of, in our lab tests the Hisense U6K was able to cover around 81% of the Rec 2020 color space, which is unbelievable given the price tag, and had a fairly low input lag of 10.2 milliseconds. Its overall brightness and color accuracy were worse than the other models on this list, but there's still a lot to love about a TV that performs at this level for around $500.
Coming at number 4.
Samsung Q90C Neo. There's a few TVs that could occupy the 4th spot on this list. The Sony X90L certainly comes to mind as one possibility. But the Samsung Q90C is simply too good to ignore. Some motion processing issues aside, this is the best Samsung QLED TV. At around $1,600 for the 65-inch model, it's not the most affordable option out there, which is why we try to steer readers towards the QM8 or Hisense U6K. Nor is Tizen our favorite smart platform compared to Google TV, but the Q90C does deliver some incredible perks for the price. The biggest and most important of these upgrades are the 4 full-spec HDMI 2.1 ports for 4K/120Hz gaming and its excellent off-axis color saturation. It has similar test results to the other QLED TVs on the list, but these extra additions definitely help set it apart from the bunch.
At number 3.
TCL QM8 Mini. If you do a lot of digging around other sites, you'll see them recommending the TCL QM8 as the best 65-inch TV. And while we agree that it's one of the top TVs, the U8K has a few more advantages going for it, including the ATSC 3.0 tuner, better sound quality and more consistent picture quality. That's not to say the QM8 is a bad TV, because at this price point it's a steal, it's just up against some tough competition. So why is it number 3 on the list? In our tests, the QM8 delivered incredible results. In 5%, 10% and even 25% window sizes, the QM8 could hit over 2000 nits of peak brightness. It can cover around 80% of the Rec 2020 color space. And it comes with 2 HDMI 2.1 ports for 4K/120Hz gameplay. It's a very similar TV to the Hisense U8K in pretty much every metric, even the not-so-good ones. Like the U8K, the QM8 had an out-the-box Delta E score of 4.4614, which means you'll have to do some tweaking. Again, nothing's a deal-breaker here, and if you want an alternative to the U8K made by TCL, the QM8 is a very solid second choice.
Number 2 of my list.
LG G4 OLED. There are a lot of 65-inch OLED TVs to pick from in 2024, but if you're going to get one, I think the LG G4 OLED is the one to go for. Not only does this year's model come with a stand, something you would have had to buy separately in previous years, but it also offers the best performance of any LG OLED TV yet thanks to its next-gen Meta panel. Thanks to LG Display's latest micro-lens array technology, the G4 can get brighter for longer than any other LG OLED while still keeping colors accurate. We tested the 65-inch version of this TV in mid-2024 and its numbers spoke for themselves. SDR brightness might have only peaked at 431 nits, but HDR was just shy of 1500 nits, surprisingly high for an OLED screen. Color accuracy, measured by Delta E, was a crazy low 1.4041, which means that the G4 was one of the most accurate TVs we've ever tested. The closer a Delta E score is to 0, the more accurate its colors are. Finally, its UHDAP3 and Rec 2020 color gamut coverages of 97.17% and 72.91% are nothing to sneeze at either. The Hisense U8N does perform slightly better in these areas, but it's relatively close overall.
And number 1.
Hisense U8N ULED. Everyone shopping for a 65-inch TV wants nearly the same thing, good picture quality at a reasonable price. Yes, there are TVs that you could drop a few thousand on that will look wonderful, Sony A95L OLED, but most folks simply want a screen that works well, looks impressive and doesn't break the bank. The Hisense U8N is that TV. It's a cutting-edge mini LED TV with several thousand contrast control zones for the best possible black levels while maintaining a peak brightness over 2000 nits. It sports all of the essential streaming services on board with its built-in Google TV Smart platform, and it supports both Dolby Vision and the latest VRR technology. Add on top of all that a built-in ATSC 3.0 tuner that makes this TV capable of grabbing next-gen TV content from over the air. In our test results, the Hisense U8N delivered a peak brightness of 3,296 nits for some of the best-looking HDR content we've seen at this price range while covering 82.07% of the widest Rec 2020 color gamut. It had slightly higher input lag than we'd like to see, 13.1 milliseconds, but it was still very much under the 20 milliseconds needed for smooth gameplay. Finally, its color accuracy out of the box wasn't the best of any TV, but that's fixable with a few tweaks.
Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.